Happy Thursday, Eagles Nation. Welcome to this week's edition of BirdBuzz. I'm your host, Stephen Hellmann, here solo. No Tom Aresco today. And once again, I'm sitting at the corner of the table because of daylight savings time and the light, and it's just the one dark spot in my room is just where my table is. I still can't move my table because of my back surgery, so thus I'm here again. Rock my Eagles green. The sleeves are a little long, so I rolled them up, unlike Sam. So I'm just supporting my Sammy sleeves, supporting my quarterback with the long sleeves today. But yeah, so we're just going to dive right into the questions. You guys had a lot of good ones this week, so we're going to go through anything I wanted to bring up at the beginning of the show, you guys asked about. So kudos to you guys. We're just rolling through the questions. No need for introductions. First question, at Schrumpter, I think I'm saying that right, Schrumpter13 asks, what rank do you think the Eagles defense is ranked right now? What do you think the Eagles defense is ranked right now? I'd give it I'd say it is going to be number 4. Number 4 in the NFL. I'm going to rank it as the number 4 defense in the NFL right now. That's what I think it is right now, and that's where I think it's going to end up as the season progresses. I really like these guys. I love the pass rush. If we can get a little depth at defensive tackle and linebacker, I think we'll be good. At Sean Flyers 88 asks, how many wins do you see the Eagles getting this season? I'm going to say Eagles are going to go, it's 9 or 10. It's 9 or 10. 10-6. They go 10-6 and they win the division. That's what I'm going to say. I think they're going to win the division. 9-7 might get it done, but I think it's 10-6. I think they're going to be 10-6 this year. Speaking of Flyers, big win last night. Big win. They finally won in a shootout against the Capitals, so that's huge. So kudos to the Flyers. That was awesome. At Frank215 asks, what do you think about the Eagles being ranked 20 in the offseason power rankings, which is the least in the NFC East? Yeah, if you guys didn't see, ESPN released their power rankings for the NFL teams, and the Eagles were ranked 20th. They're ranked 20th. The Giants were 19th. Redskins were 17, I believe, and the Cowboys were 13 or 14, which is absurd. So they base these power rankings on they based the Cowboys on Tony Romo's shoulder, on his shoulder. The Redskins, where the Redskins stand, I see that's totally fine. The Redskins should be put ahead of us just based on how the season ended last year. But the Giants at 19, people are mad about the Cowboys. I'm more mad about the Giants. What evidence from last year, what from last year makes you think the Giants are going to be any better? I mean, yeah, they signed some big defensive free agent acquisitions like we did last year. We just threw a bunch of money at like 2 guys, but they have so many question marks, and now they don't have Ruben Randall. They just their secondary is still pretty suspect. Their defensive line isn't that great. Their linebacker core, I couldn't even name one linebacker on the Giants. So I think these rankings are whack. I would not buy into them at all. At Dylan Doppermare asks, what do you predict as our first round draft pick? If I had to say, I know there's a lot of rumors about Carson Wentz ate dinner with the owners last night. The owner, I think it was Lori Roseman and Peterson. So the brain trust. If I had to pick one guy though, it's gonna be Ezekiel Elliott. If I had to pick one guy, it'd be Ezekiel Elliott. And people thought I was crazy when I said, "Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna sign Sam Bradford." After the Redskins lost, I said they're gonna bring Bradford back, and they did. So maybe I have some foresight with this. I don't know, but I'm saying I think Ezekiel Elliott's gonna be the guy. It just seems that way. At Dylan Manuel asks, do you think we should trade down to get a second round pick? I'm gonna say no, just because they wanted that 8th pick so bad, and with the 8th pick, you can get a really good player. I don't want them to get a quarterback in the first round, and I think they need to get a quarterback in the draft. But I'm not sold on Goff or Wentz at the 8th pick. I just don't. I think there's something you can get much better with the 8th pick than one of these guys that aren't sure things. I think you got players with the 8th pick that you have a lot. You're going to be able to get a really good guy at 8th, whether that's Hargreaves, whether that's Elliott, whether that's Stanley, whether that's Miles Jack. One of those 4 names, I don't know why I had 5. I was like, what are those 4 names? No. One of those 4 guys are going to be there, and you're going to be able to get one of them. So that's elite talent. I don't want to pass up on elite talent. I think you got to get the best player available. I'm leaning towards offensive lineman, but best player available, and I just don't know the quarterback stats, so I don't think you can trade down to get to that second round pick. At JBrad13 asks, after hearing about Chip Kelly's draft day news, what are your thoughts? I guess you're referring to the how Chip Kelly alienated all the scouts. That's what I'm assuming you're going with, Justin. And so apparently Chip Kelly's kind of, when he was with the Eagles, reports came out that, and we keep taking shots at Chip Kelly. I don't know. He's gone. Who cares? I don't care. Listen, he was a tyrant. I love Chip Kelly. This used to be called Real Chip TV. We loved Chip Kelly, but he was a tyrant, mad with power, and we had to get rid of him. Point is, I just don't know why we still need to keep, we're just beating the dead horse here. But so Chip Kelly alienated all the scouts, and basically what he did is the scouts gave him all these reports about all these players that they did. And before, I think it was probably like a month or two before the draft, Chip Kelly just said, nah, we're not going to go with any of those guys because none of those guys are the ones we want. Here are the players I want. We're going to go with them. So they pretty much just, everything that the scouts gave him, all that hard work that the scouts put in, probably all of the whole college football season, he just said, no, we're just not going to use it. So, and I think he just got mad with power essentially. But yeah, I'm glad Chip's gone. At the Great White Mexican asks, whoever is the franchise quarterback, do you think Ezekiel Elliott's skills that will help them dramatically long term? Yeah, I mean, barring to get Ezekiel Elliott, which I think they will. A talent like that is really going to help you. I mean, you got a guy that can come out of the backfield, catch passes, he can run for big yards. I mean, this guy could be huge. But I mean, my argument is offensive line. You really got to improve that. But I think Elliott, he's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. So if we get him, I'm not going to be upset, but I think there's other guys you need more. At Guillermo Valentin asks, last question here, how long do you think Doug Peterson will be the Eagles head coach? It's good. That's a very good question. I believe in Doug. I do. I'm gonna say Doug Peterson has 6 years. 6 years. I'm gonna give him 6 years. And are the Eagles gonna win Super Bowl in 5 years? I think so. I do think they. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I do think they're gonna end up winning a Super Bowl. So maybe if they do it, I guess my guess should be longer. But I'm gonna say 6 years. That's a stomper. I'm gonna ask Tom what he thinks of that one. But yeah, you know what? Thank you for the questions, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. BirdBuzz, we love it. We're very close to that 200 subscriber mark, so we really appreciate it. And yeah, what us down a lot. We just love talking birds with you guys. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. We just love talking birds. So we've been doing the same thing, bringing the same passion since we had 1 subscriber. Talking to you, Justin Bradley. So yeah, you know what? We just love talking birds, and it's fun because we're all in it together. We all want the same thing. We all just have a different mindset. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We can't wait for the draft. And yeah, you know what? I'll see you guys on Monday for the weekly chirp. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.